What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Bosley. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and that's the one, the only, Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Scotty, what's happening, buddy?
Oh, back into it. I'm on that work grind, but I'm enjoying my time off and getting to talk about games again and again. That's what I enjoy much more. We got some interesting topics, some that we kind of touched on yesterday. So I'm hoping I enjoy the news.
I think we will enjoy it today for sure. We've got a good show where you can catch it over at InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services, and TV streaming networks around the globe. Coming up on today's episode, Amazon launches their latest title, New World, and it's off to a good but yet rocky start. And we get all caught up in the week of Stadia and Xbox, and more Xbox. They just keep adding more. Dude, you ready to get going for today or what?
Oh, I'm ready.
This one's interesting, buddy. Let's go. It seems players are interested in New World. This is an article out of IGN from Wesley LeBlanc. New World is already Steam's most played game of 2021, even though it's only been out for a day, Scott.
Yeah, I believe I announced the release of this 24 hours ago.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Not only is Amazon Games' new MMO the most played game of 2021, but its all-time player count peak is also the more than 200,000 players higher than Valheim's, which previously held the record. Dude, that is massive numbers. 200,000 higher. At the time of the writing, New World has 684,364 concurrent players. Dude, with an all-time peak at 707,000 players, which it hit about an hour and a half ago, 2 hours ago. Valheim, which was released earlier this year to much acclaimed, previously held the record as the most played game on Steam this year with an all-time peak of 502,000. Over on Twitch, 947,000 viewers are watching New World streams right now.
Holy, yeah, take that into account. Not just playing it, but there's another nearly 1 million watching. This, we know that this was kind of in the spotlight. People are curious about it. People have been excited about it. So it's not terribly much of a surprise, but in what they've achieved in 24 hours, man, what is it going to look like in 24 days?
Well, there's also to take note, there are some server issues. There's a lot of stress going on these servers because, as noted by analyst Simon Careless on Twitter, about 400,000 players are in a waiting log right now, waiting to get in on the EU servers alone, just trying to play the game.
I wonder if it shows you the queued line. Your number 394,210. Like, what?
Oh man! Over on Twitter, New World posted, "It has been an unbelievable 24 hours, and the support for New World that we've seen so far has been incredible." The New World post reads, "We understand that some players are experiencing lengthy queue times, and we are working hard on a few things to help address these issues." Dude, how do you fix that issue? You need some more servers.
Have they wiped out their other projects that were on the go? Or less than a year old? They just scrapped that for server space? I mean, I'm joking because we've worried about Amazon before, but this seems like a smash out of the park.
Dude, this is fantastic. It is nice to see Amazon Games finally nail something, right? Because like we've said in the past, Crucible canceled. They had Breakaway, they canceled that game, and they had a Lord of the Rings game in the works and just completely scrapped it. So to see them now switch their focus and go right to New World and focus heavily on that, delay the game a little bit, but come out the gate swinging, congratulations to them. Hats off. And the team's got to be feeling pretty comfortable, even though or pretty rewarding, I guess, but at the same time pretty stressed out because of the server backlog.
Yeah, that's of course, that's landing on somebody's job, and they're probably going to stay up all night. But
absolutely,
the rest of the team, you got to remember, these are artists, a lot of them, most of them, maybe all of them. And so for somebody to enjoy their art and finally they've found their foothold to release something good, that has to feel good.
Absolutely. No, so it's you know what, backlog in the servers are an issue, but at least it's a good issue. You could have empty servers, so right, that's the best part, I guess. If you're frantically working on your game right now to make it so other players can play, that's a good issue to have, dude. So yeah They're almost 1 million people watching over on Twitch is just massive. They had 707,000 concurrent players. That's a good start for day one.
Yes, absolutely. And hopefully it'll hold the momentum in enough of a way to remain living longer than Crucible did.
Well, and that's my question, Scott. How long do you think this can hold the momentum moving forward with New World? Do you think we'll see this for in the next month? Where do you think numbers lie?
Yeah, I would expect it to kind of naturally level out,
Sure.
lower perhaps, because I think a lot of it was curiosity. Check it out first day. What do you think of it?
Yep.
But that is going to attract more players over time as the game continues with confidence. So it's hard to say, but I would guess maybe in a month from today, still over the 500,000 mark.
Oh, you think that high, eh? I was thinking somewhere in around 200,000 to 300,000, but we'll see. We'll keep tabs on it. But yeah, congratulations over at Amazon Games. Good job. And hopefully you can get those servers up and running for the rest of the people who were waiting in the queue, because, dude, that'll put them over 1 million people.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But let's move on to This Week in Stadia, because they got 5 new games hitting Stadia Pro on October 1st. This Friday's a whopping 5 games are being added to the 30-plus titles for Stadia Pro members. Dude, the DreamWorks Super Lucky's Big Adventure rides on the Stadia. That's like a pony adventure thing. So there is that. If you want to take a look at that one, there's Hello Engineer, which is in early access, which was first on Stadia. Cake Bash, Unto the End. That one looks awesome. And Scott, this one's out for you, buddy. Control Ultimate Edition.
Oh, okay. Well, that's heavily balanced at the end of that list. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah, for sure. To take note though, Ember and Phoenix Point added new content to their games as well, so take a look at that. And lastly, the phone link is available starting today on Stadia app. Basically, you can just use your phone as a controller and play the games on your TV.
Oh.
So that was cool.
Hey, that's cool. I like that. Yeah, that kind of brings the functionality of what we have with the controller and the Founders Pack, but to a phone. Not my usual thing, but a lot of people are into the mobile gaming, so it's cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you got to grab everything on October, because they'll be leaving other games will be leaving at the end of September. So keep an eye on that. Make sure you grab everything while you can. Dude, it's the easiest thing I do. I go into my app, boom, Stadia Pro, click, claim. Even if I don't expect to ever play the game, I still claim it anyways, just so I can have it in my library.
Is free.
Right? It's easy and accessible. But Xbox up to a bunch of things today, man. They're just announcing left, right, and center. They got the Dolby Vision gaming now available on Xbox Series X and S. Gaming in Dolby Vision launches today on the Xbox Series X and S. More than 100 next-gen HDR titles optimized for Series X and S are available now or coming soon to Dolby Vision. In addition, thousands of classics like HDR10 and Auto HDR games will benefit from improved picture quality through the new Dolby Vision enhancements on Xbox Series X and S. Dude, that's like a drinking game. I keep playing this article out. This came over from the Xbox Wire. But
and this, every time they list Xbox Series S or X, they include the entire title, as if you forgot that you just mentioned Series.
I know. Yeah. At this point, well, you can't say. Can you just say Xbox X? Because it's Xbox One, right? Xbox X, Xbox S. It's so confusing.
This reminds me of an issue, the same one I had with Battlefield. Why name it Xbox One? If not to follow it with a 2. I don't understand. Are we not at 2 yet? Is it not truly that much of an upgrade? I thought it was.
I think so. It's definitely a lot faster than the 1. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. But, dude, I load up Battlefield with my brother, and I'm in before he's even waiting. I'm in a game while he's waiting for the starting screen. It's
often, funny. Right? Yeah, no, absolutely. We're often like that now with next gen versus last gen, but it is confusing. Where PlayStation makes it so simple: PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's hard to mess those up, dude. But the Dolby Vision is compatible with next-gen features available on Xbox. See, here we go again. Xbox Series X and S, such as DirectX ray tracing, automatic low latency mode, variable refresh rate, and up to 120 frames per second. Silky smooth, buddy.
That is very smooth. As of recent, I've lost the ability to see in 120 frames, but when I could, holy, did that make a difference.
Just hold up one eye.
I remember it was the first time I played Grand Theft Auto on my brother's Xbox.
Yeah.
Before I had the Xbox One, and the biggest difference was that it was in 120. I could see it moving like as fluid as water. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was absolutely good to see. Dude, they partnered with Adobe now for a long time, way back in 2017 as well, right? So they started with Adobe Atmos. From there, they just keep going and keep rolling forward. So here they are now with Visions, which is awesome. But Xbox, we have more for Xbox today with Xbox Cloud Gaming Beta on consoles begin releases for insiders starting today. This comes from Jake Rosenberg, who's Senior Programmer Manager at Xbox. Again, Xbox Wire, Newswire. Play with the cloud gaming on your console. No installs required. Dude, this is one of the biggest highlights out of the whole cloud gaming mechanic.
Yeah, this is something we return to talk about all the time on Stadia. We are both fans of Stadia. I think you especially.
Absolutely.
And the whole idea of it behind no updates is really the selling point.
Yep, without a doubt, right? You're never waiting, dude. You just play your game and away you go.
Well, and I'm plagued with that issue all the time on Xbox.
Well, last night you went to join us to play Siege update. And I was like, Joel joined us last night. He's oh man, I got an update. Now he's got a high speed internet, and so do you. So it doesn't take all that long, but we're still waiting for him, right? Yeah, you're supposed to. I don't know, man. I think you got a squirrel chewing on your line or something. But continue on with the article. With Game Pass Ultimate, you can now play games on your console without installing. We're beginning to, I don't know why they keep doing this whole flight test thing. We're beginning to flight cloud gaming today on consoles for a random subset of alpha, skip ahead, and alpha insiders. We will be expanding to more insiders and additional rings over time. Cloud gaming on the consoles reduces your time to the fun and allows you to quickly jump into online multiplayer sessions with your friends by letting you play Xbox Game Pass games without having to wait for the install. Dude, this is just a next step in the evolution of Xbox. We've seen them pushing forward. Now they used to call it, and I still to this day call it Project X Cloud.
Yeah, that's always going to be in there.
Right? It's hard to knock it off, man. I've been saying it now for so long. But yeah, if you're an insider, take a look. You might have access to be able to play in the cloud now, which is awesome. So
and even more important than instant starting and downloading updates is that the lack of download in general. We talk about how these hard drives are way too small nowadays, and this alleviates it.
Dude,
they need to put another 0 on the amount of terabytes I have. If I have one at all, I'm not even certain anymore.
The biggest thing
I have Call of Duty next to another game that's less than a gig, and it's full.
Well, that's just it. I was going to say, if you download Red Dead Redemption 2 and Call of Duty, dude, that's like
full Xbox right there.
Right? That's like 3/4 of your Xbox. It's ridiculous. They said there are a couple known issues. The current known issues are listed here. We got a couple things here. Users may be unable to launch base games that are part of the bundle. Example, Forza Horizon 4, Halo the Master Chief Collection with cloud gaming on consoles. So they're still in that early access kind of beta testing. So be mindful the fact that it may not be as smooth as you want it to run. So there's that.
Well, perhaps that's why they call it the flight test, because the changing in nomenclature like that, is it to so that crash sounds a little bit more technical? Is it going to fly? Is it going to crash? We don't know.
It's got a little bit of wind turbulence, so not everything's going to work all the time. Dude, let's get on to what is a never-ending story. It's Activision to set up $18 million victim fund in response to harassment suit. This comes from Stephen Totillo over at Axios. Activision,
please be closure.
Not quite, but it's slowly getting there. Activision Blizzard announced plans on Monday to settle a sexual harassment and discrimination law from the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission's hours after it was filed. Why? Well, this is why kind of everything matters the most. This is Activision's most visible acknowledgement of problems at the company. In the wake of a series of workplace misconduct laws, complaints and investigations initiated against the Call of Duty and World of Warcraft maker since the summer. In a 49-page consent decree, the company technically denied any wrongdoing, but agreed to a 3-year period of extensive oversight. Dude, they technically denied They're like, come
they
on,
can say
really?
whatever they like, but money speaks, and this is 18
Well,
million they want to set up. Well, I
yeah.
think that says otherwise,
Yeah, yeah, like just you read between the lines, and that tells you right then and there that
Yeah.
$18 million tells me that they screwed up. Like let's be honest, right? But here's something to also take note of: $18 million, Scott, is really nothing compared to Activision's operating income
That's
for
true.
its most recent quarter was $959 million. Man,
So they could afford to repeat this. I
well,
really hope they don't, but they could afford to repeat this 10 times.
well, that's just it, right? $18 million probably a drop in the bucket for some of these people. Unfortunately, like it's to have compensation with money. I don't know if that helps. I'm sure it helps to some degree, but at the same time, what was done and is wrong. And
Yeah,
they just need to sort
it
it out.
helps you. I mean, I would like to cry into a stack of Benjamins as well, but it doesn't erase what happened. So
No,
and we know that they've kind of been drawn up in a crucifix of sort because they represent a lot of what's going on in a lot of different companies. So I want to see this resolved in a way that sets the tone for everyone else to kind of, okay, well, is it going to cost us 18 million? Can we afford that?
Yep.
You really shouldn't have to ask those questions, but
no,
it's just not acceptable. You can't do it.
no one should have to stand for that crap. So hopefully they'll get it sorted out, and maybe people will get what they deserve, and others will get what they need to help them kind of get over this stuff. So make a better company and make better games. But they're already on top.
The company, corporate policy, corporate culture, that's so integral to everything you do. Yeah. And I know that from my time at A&W. And sure. I can only imagine if you have 100 times the employees, it just becomes more important.
Yep. No, absolutely. But Scott, that's let's move on to something else that Sony is up to. Sony patent suggests PlayStation Now could be adding PS5 games. This comes from Joshua Duckworth over at Game Rant. Download-only games have appeared before, if rarely, but PS5 games have yet to appear on the service in any capacity. According to a new PS Now patent, Sony is actively working on making this a reality. The ultra-high-speed, low-latency network storage patent, recently published by Sony, but filed back in April, details this work. This patent, seemingly discovered first by DualShockers, revolves around using multiple NVMe drives networked together to faster find and stream games. There's a lot of technical aspects to it, but essentially it boils down to being able to find a game data faster and stream it more effectively, which is fantastic.
Hey, that sounds good because we're in the year 2021 now, and I've been waiting for that for my whole life. I thought we were supposed to have great internet, and of course it's better, but the hardware in the console has to support that. I'm not sure I understand what an NVMe drive is.
I don't either.
If it's made by spaghetti and it pulls your downloads in faster, I'm all about that.
I'm in. So let's go. I think it's the next step, and they have to do something. I think Sony at this point is missing out because Game Pass is so well known at this point, right? That we always compare the two. When you compare apples to apples, I don't think you're really comparing apples to apples. I think you're kind of comparing apples to oranges here, right? Because Game Pass does definitely feel like the superior service compared to PlayStation Now. We're getting new games there all the time. We're getting brand new games every time. Getting launch titles there now at this point too, right? Where we're still not getting the PlayStation 5 titles yet, but it's working, and they have to it sounds like they're upgrading their technology in order to bring over those PS5 games, which is great because we've got Kena Bridge of Spirits right now, and dude, I'm playing that game. That game is incredible.
Yeah, you've mentioned that a couple times actually, and I was very curious based on the art style alone. I really have to circle back around for that one.
Yeah, it's PlayStation Now. I'm curious to see where the future holds, or if they're going to rebrand that service into something else when they get into more of a what are they going to do to answer the Xbox Cloud stuff, right? What
PlayStation Pass.
I'm just.
You can make that check out to Scott Savage.
That's right. Yeah, you can file it here.
I've got lots of ideas.
But it's I'm curious to see. There's a lot to go on over the world of PlayStation right now. They're still dominating the market, obviously, at this point. All their games are incredible. Their games come out, they're fantastic, and everybody thrives over there. But a lot of people still are waiting for the cloud side of things. How do you get in there with Stadia? How do you get in there with Xbox? And how do you compete with Xbox Game Pass? And I don't think really right now Sony has an answer for that. And I'm curious to see how long it's going to take. I'm surprised they haven't give us something now to say, here's our competitor. They're not going to come right out and say, hey, we're competing now against Game Pass. That's not how they're going to do it. But they'll come out and phrase it and maybe take a shot or two in some way. But dude, if you go all of a sudden have this cloud service and you put Spider-Man Miles Morales on there, you've got Returnal on there, you have Kena, Bridge of Spirits, all your first party titles, and then new titles moving forward too, right? Horizon Forbidden West gets on there. The next God of War is on there. You're like, wow, now we're competing. Now we're apples to apples.
We know it'll sell like gangbusters. We've seen it on Xbox.
Well, that's just
it. 18 million. That's just the number that I remember, but that was a year ago, I think. It's easy to sell that service, but I think PlayStation is feeling a little bit of pressure. Sure. Not enough pressure to ruin anybody's sleep, because
I don't think
Sony is standing tall on that. But they're not quite at the leading edge like I think they have been for 2 generations.
Nope, absolutely. I think that's a good point right there, Scott. But we're also getting to the point. It's almost the end of the show, like we always seem to fly in this thing, man. But dude, what game announcements and releases do we have for today?
Oh, we have new information. This one's exciting for me, actually. Game Pass members may now assemble for Marvel's Avengers, and that will be releasing on September 30th. And that's really cool to me, because I've been curious about it. You've jumped into that several times with Steve, and I want to give it a try.
Dude, I need to have crossplay, because I have created some of my characters and I've leveled them up so far that the last thing I want to do is start them all over.
That would hurt.
Yeah, but
even if it's just cross save progression, that would be a step in the right direction.
Absolutely. What else do we have for we got Games with Gold. What do we got?
Yeah, Games with Gold for October. It has been revealed. There is Arrow, and that is the entirety of October. For the okay, it gets a little loose here. Hover is coming in the middle of October, and it lasts until November 15th. So a little slightly different of a window there. Castlevania, Harmony of Despair, for the first half of October is available. I've not played that one. I'm curious. Metroidvanias, count me in. There is also Resident Evil Code Veronica X. That is in the second half of October here. Also have not tried that one.
Wow.
And I'm on Resident Evil, so that's coming up soon. Today, in terms of full releases, we have Insurgency Sandstorm, and that's coming to the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4.
After picking your class, you can create your own personal build from a wide variety of weapons and weapon upgrades.
Dude, Insurgency Sandstorm is I played on PC. That is a high-level playing competitive game. There is.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. If you can get into that one, check it out. It's be worth your time. Games with Gold, though, Scott, overall thoughts on next month's games?
Well, there's Castlevania is definitely a curiosity thing. I'm not sure if it'll quite land with me, but I'm a fan in the long term. And then Resident Evil is a huge hit to me. I know it's Code Veronica X is not exactly one of the main lines. It doesn't have a number on it, for example, but it just Resident Evil is usually a solid grab. Every single one except for that multiplayer only one on 360. That was the one miss.
Dude, what I noticed though, were all these games are super old. Like I don't know how many of these games are actually going to click with somebody.
Oh yeah, that's unfortunate. But then again, there is a lot of old gold.
Yep.
We mentioned Knights of the Old Republic yesterday, and
yeah, good point.
I'm just excited somebody can get to play that one again.
Dude, they should have brought that over here. Games of Gold. That's what they should have done, but they didn't. But either way, it's I don't know. Let me know in the comments over at the official ITG on Twitter if you're happy with the Games of Gold for October, because I got a feeling a lot of people aren't going to be all that thrilled. But either way, dude, they have to check out Insurgency Sandstorm. That game is awesome. It's definitely cool, and I want to play it on console versus my PC because I get rocked over on PC.
Yeah, it's a different ocean over there.
Certainly is, my friend. There's no doubt about that. But dude, that's gonna wrap up today's show. Everybody, you know where I am. You can follow me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28, and you can follow Scott on Savage on Twitter. Until tomorrow, I'm Drew. That's Scott. We'll see everybody inside the game.